welcome everyone. And we are so pleased that you have found us here on the back room. I am your host, Hank Philippi Ryan. My co-host, Karen Dion, is with me tonight. And we are delighted that you have joined us this evening, this wonderful Sunday, for an absolutely terrific panel of authors, and we cannot wait to introduce you to all of them and to get to hear about their marvelous new books. As I said, I am your host for this evening, Hank Philippi Ryan, the USA Today bestselling author of 15, going on 16, as you heard, novels of suspense. My current novel is One Wrong Word, which is so gracefully and casually displayed on the door behind me. I have won 5 Agathas, 5 Anthonys, and the coveted Mary Higgins Clark Award, as well as 37 Emmys for investigative reporting here in Boston. And I am so pleased to be one of the co-hosts and co-founders of The Back Room. Our first author is Lalli Condie. Lalli Condie is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of the Matched trilogy and of many other books, including the Edgar Award finalist Summerlost, who I told Lalli earlier, that is one of my favorite books of all time. And if you have not read Summerlost, it's a gorgeous, brilliant, heartbreaking, beautiful young adult book. You will have to look at that. Her debut thriller, The Unwedding, I will hold that up to you. You hold that up, Lalli, was is a thriller sort of in the vein of Agatha Christie meets The White Lotus. And it was a Reese Witherspoon book club pick in June of 2024. A former English teacher, Lalli enjoys hiking with her 4 children in the mountains near their home in Utah. Welcome, Lalli. We're so glad that you're here tonight.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Great. That's great. Next on the screen, you will see David Ellis. David Ellis is the Edgar-winning author of Look Closer and 11 other suspense novels. He has co-authored 11 other novels with James Patterson. David is a justice of the Illinois Appellate Court and lives outside Chicago. So he just writes in his spare time. I do not know how you do that. He is here tonight to talk about his latest thriller, The Best Lies. When do you write, David, that you have no time?
I write from 3:30 in the morning until 7 a.m. That's the only time I can do it. That's the only time no one's bothering me.
So sleeping?
Yeah, that's why you see these bags under my eyes, Hank. I'm prematurely aging in the gray hair.
S.C. Lalli, hello, Sonia, is the author of Are You Sarah, a national bestseller and one of NPR and Apple Books' best books of 2022. Her new thriller, The Plus One, about a billionaire power couple murdered on the eve of their destination wedding, released last month. She also writes romance and women's fiction under her full name, Sonia Lalli. And welcome to you, Sonia.
Thanks so much for having me.
Anything new at your house?
Oh yes, we were just talking about this before. I had a baby boy 4 weeks ago today. So this is my first time that I've put on a shirt without a stain on it and put my hair back in a ponytail. So I'm really looking forward to talking to adults and diving back into books. So thanks so much for coming.
That is amazing. Congratulations. We are so thrilled that you are here tonight. And we are amazed that you are awake. That is lovely.
Me too. I'm also amazed. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tom Ricks, welcome, Tom. Thomas E. Ricks is the author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, including the #1 bestseller, Fiasco, A History of the Beginning of the Iraq War. As a reporter at the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal, he was a member of 2 teams that won the Pulitzer Prize. He worked in the Maine woods in his youth and trapped lobsters while living on an island in Penobscot Bay. He now divides his time between Texas and Maine. Everybody Knows But You is his first mystery, but he says it's not his last. Did you love writing it, Tom?
I really did. It was so much more enjoyable than writing serious nonfiction. My wife tells me she likes fiction, Tom, much more than nonfiction, especially because I've really gotten into cooking. I don't know why, but I wound up.
Because all of us procrastinate. That is the standard classic
Yes.
writer thing. You know, you think, well, maybe I can think better if I make.
Exactly. All that basil is calling to me outside. There must be another way to cook fish, tomatoes, and basil.
You can try. I made pesto today too. We'll have to talk about that. So we will start tonight, as always, with our not quite 20 questions, these wonderful questions that we have on our fabulous cards. And I will call on you on the order that I see you. First, I see Lalli Condie. Allie, you're an English teacher, but what was your least favorite class when you were in school?
Math. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible. So bad at it that they actually, my high school English, or I mean, math teacher said, please don't take calculus. I don't have the time to walk you through it. And so, yeah, I'm really bad at it.
I mean, it's interesting because so many of, I'll say, of us struggled in math, and it should be easy because there is an answer. I mean, all you have to do is find the answer. And in writing is a different process. Do you think it's just, what do you think caused you to dislike it so much?
Well, I wanted to be good at it. My sister was really good at it, and I wanted to be like her, but I just wasn't. So I don't know. I think maybe my brain just said no, said absolutely not, Allie, you cannot.
I never cared what the answer was.
Yeah, that's also true.
Oh, Patricia is agreeing with you. That is a good way of looking at it. Like, why do I need to know that?
Yeah.
You know, I remember saying to a trigonometry teacher, can you tell me one good reason why I need to know this?
Yeah.
And she said, because if you ever need to figure out how the parking places are lined up in a parking lot, that's how they figure it out. And I thought, I'm never going to do that.
Yep.
David Ellis, what
Yeah.
was your first job?
I worked at a middle school on the roof. I had to, in the summers, I would have to, I don't know why, but they tarred the roof and then they covered it with rocks. So to tar it, we had to first get every single rock off, sweep it off, and then blacktop it. And you'd be doing it in the middle of the day with the sun beating on you, and there was no relief. There was nothing to prevent you from Chicago gets pretty humid in the summers. So it kept me in good shape during high school. I will say I got a good tan and I was in shape. But to clean off the tar, we had to clean it off with gasoline. I'd come home every day and pour gasoline on a rag and scrub the tar off my skin. But they wouldn't let me in my house.
That is, first of all, Neil deGrasse Tyson would probably say that was good for you. I think it's Dickensian. I mean, that is bleak and horrific.
I mean, I was doing it with a buddy of mine and it was actually fun, and it beat the heck out of being behind a desk or selling in some store or something. I mean, I was outside, it was fun, but we played music. We managed to make it fun, but you'd be pretty sore at the end of the day. And what we started doing was we started work at like 5 a.m. to try to beat the main heat. We'd do our 8-hour shift, but be done by like, noon or something. But no, it's all in all good memories, but I don't need to be doing that again
Yes,
anytime
exactly.
soon.
You have outgrown that. You have outgrown.
Yeah.
Tom Ricks, do you have any hobbies?
Yeah. Hiking, sailing, kayaking. But the older I get, the more they're narrowing down to reading books and talking to my wife and dog.
Oh,
To me, that's the essence of life.
yeah, exactly. That is very sweet. That is very sweet. Sonia, what is the most beautiful place you have ever been?
Okay, so I live in Vancouver, the Pacific Northwest, and I'm a little bit biased, but I think Tofino on the west coast of Vancouver Island is the most beautiful place in the world. And I mean, you can surf there year round. You do have to wear a wetsuit up to your nose if you surf there in the winter. But the beaches, the storm watching, it's sort of like every single microclimate you can possibly imagine. And if you just keep looking, eventually you'd get to Japan if you swam out there. And yeah, so if you ever make a trip to the Pacific Northwest, definitely check out Tofino and the surrounding area.
How do you spell it?
Tofino.
It sounds amazing. It sounds
Yeah, look at some pictures.
Allie, can we start with you? What book are you recommending?
Yeah, so I'm recommending The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. She wrote Long Bright River, which I really loved a couple of years ago. So I was very much looking forward to this. And I think if I remember right, President Obama read it this year too, so we're in good company. It's had a lot of buzz, but it's a really beautifully written story. It's a mystery. There's a missing child, which as a parent is my worst nightmare, so I'm instantly compelled by that. And it's a family story as well as a mystery, and it's set in the Adirondacks, so a beautiful natural environment that, of course, affects the story and the characters and everything about it. So yeah, God of the Woods by Liz Moore. It's fantastic.
And we will, thank you. That is all the buzz. It's on my nightstand right now, and I cannot wait to read it. We will be posting a graphic, as you see, of God of the Woods and a picture of Liz Moore, just in case you didn't get when Ali mentioned it. And we will also be posting the names and authors of all of these books in the chat, so you don't need to write anything down. David Ellis, what book are you recommending?
I am reading Bodies to Die For by Lori Brand. This is a really fun book. It's a murder mystery and it's nice and twisty. It's got all that. But what I find so interesting, Lori, I've just met her. Lori has this really crazy background story. She was a bodybuilder. I think she even was a centerfold for Playboy one time. She likes to poo-poo that part, but she was into competitive bodybuilding. And this book, Bodies to Die For, is set in the arena of diet culture and all of those people we see on TV and, you know, on the internet, you know, promoting different ways to make your body look nicer and body image. And then the other faction of people who are actively rebelling against those people. And she knows exactly what she's talking about because she's been there. And you not only get into just enjoy a great twisty story, but you get to learn so much about this, about something that I knew nothing about. And she's got plenty to say about it. And it's funny. So it's fun, funny, interesting. I can't recommend it enough.
Yes, she's very brave, I have to say. She is very brave and very tough.
Yeah.
Tom Ricks, what book are you recommending?
I just went downstairs to look for it. I can't hold it up, but I can see that you have the graphic for it. It's called The Lobster Coast. It's by Colin Woodard. It came out about 20 years ago, but is being reissued this year. I am recommending it because it is the single best book ever written about the state of Maine, which is where my novel is set. I was a little bit embarrassed after I finished writing this novel, which is my first mystery. I went back and reread this book and said, holy moly, I borrowed an awful lot from this guy. So I just really owe him a lot. It's a brilliant book that really captures the differentness of Maine.
Oh, I can't wait to hear more about that. We'll talk about what you learned from that and how that informed you when you didn't really know that that was happening. That's pretty fascinating. Sonia, what are you reading?
So I recently read The Haters by Robin Harding. I really love all of Robin's suspense, like The Party, Drowning Woman, The Swap, The Arrangement. They're all really great. And in this book, the protagonist is a writer, and she has a troll, an online hater. And then as she becomes obsessed, she realizes that this person is in her life. So it's a really good domestic sort of setting, but also, you know, for people who read crime and who write crime, just sort of being in that world and dealing with sort of social media and online hate. It's just like a really fun and twisty read.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded, because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.